Alison, 3-0 for Celtic. It suggests a comfortable win. Is that how you saw it over the 90 minutes?
I think it became a comfortable win eventually. I think that first half at times was a bit laboured for Celtic until they got that opening goal. It might have been interesting if David Turnbull hadn't scored just in added time. Malky Mackay was a wee bit irked, I think, at the length of time that had been added on just at the end of that closing period. However, I think if you factor in the 2 goals that Celtic had scored and had chopped off, I think probably Celtic merited the lead. I think they had been very dominant, particularly since, of course, James Brown was sent off and dismissed for that challenge in Yang. I think it was a red card. Malky Mackay agreed. He thought it was a straight dismissal, and he pointed to the fact that he really had to make the tactical changes in to avoid the game running away from him. I think they succeeded in limiting Celtic, but as soon as that first goal came, you just sensed that there was more to come.
Over and above that, there's been a fair bit of criticism of the fringe players at Celtic, but when you look at David Turnbull, he's certainly taking his opportunity, and of course James Forrest chipped in with a goal.
Yeah, interesting you should say that. I think that's 5 for the season for David Turnbull, that 2 and 2, and James Forrest, of course, a little bit of history for him today as he becomes only, I think, the 3rd player to score in 15 successive top flight seasons. That's an incredible stat that goes all the way back from season 2009-10 to today.
One of the news elements, Alison, that will undoubtedly grab the headlines is the Green Brigade. Were some of them there? Of course, Palestinian flags could be seen at the start of the game, but they quickly disappeared. It's always going to be the focus of attention because the ban is in place.
Yeah, I think so, and I think there was always going to be a means to get tickets and come to the game. I think there would be criticisms of some of the singing that you heard this afternoon. I think some of it was loud and clear, the kind of songs that the club have asked fans to desist from singing. I think it was very apparent. I think there was an outbreak of a football song somewhere around 70 minutes or so. But yeah, I don't think anyone should be surprised. I think the Green Brigade will work out their way to get tickets by any means necessary, and I think you'll see them in and around grounds, both at Celtic Park and away grounds, even with this ban in place.
And just before you go, Alison, obviously all roads now lead to Spain, Atletico Madrid. And what was Brendan Rodgers' view on the overall performance for Celtic and how it sets them up for that Champions League fixture?
Yeah, I think he was very satisfied. I think he was happy with the performance. He did reference the fact that it can be quite challenging, quite demanding when you're playing against 10 men and you know it's going to be quite a defensive setup. I think he was pleased. He made 6 changes. I think he was pleased with the players who came in, and of course a massive game now this week as Celtic head over to Spain for that game. I think you saw that he rested players. You should get Matarelli back, Hugo Furuhashi should all come back into the game, and you would hope that they would have a bit of energy, a bit of freshness for that one. But I think regardless of what Celtic have in terms of fitness and availability for that game over in Madrid, that's a fairly daunting challenge that lies ahead of them.